Oh, yeah. Y'all already know what time it is. Somebody done bumped their head and bad news is gonna beat them home. Y'all know what time it is. J Prince, Mr. Prince, Lil J, the businessman that he is, the business connoisseur, entrepreneur, independent record label starter, innovator himself, journalist, has broken his silence on this whole situation and came out and made a statement. And he starts it off. Breaking news alert. Houston, we have a problem. Oh man, I knew from that opening stance, I better get the popcorn ready because here we go. Man, he did not disappoint. And I know everybody's like, man, do the J Prince voice, man, do the J Prince voice. I already can see you saying it right now. And all right, here we go. Breaking news alert. Houston, we have a problem. Megan, along with Rock Nation employee Gita Jal Grace Lawyer, decided to include my name in a lawsuit wrapped around lies and stupidity. We gonna get this it straight. Now, let's deal with the root of the issue. The root is a familiar one. For me, coming from a successful, independent record label perspective, as an independent record label, make many sacrifices along with our artists. After we do all the hard work together with the artists, it's a known fact that major record labels and established managers attempt to poach the fruits of our labor. One of the first things they do is they criticize the deal that raised the artist from the dead. These record labels and managers don't want it to do with these artists until the hard work, the risk, the sacrifices, and the resources has been spent by the little guys. This the same technique of the culture vultures. I didn't allow this to happen to me when New York and LA record labels attempted to take my artist. So they labeled me a malicious for fighting back. I didn't allow it then, so I damn sure ain't gonna allow it to happen to 5101 Records or any other independent record labels that I'm associated with. For the record, we have no problem with negotiating with Megan, but we do have a problem with dictators. I find it very interesting that Rock Nation would allow their employee to sign an affidavit and a statement full of slanderous lies on my methods of doing business when we have partnered together on several occasions. I don't think Jay-Z is aware of this, but only time will tell. Megan, even though she signed an affidavit talked down and lied in court documents on me. I understand how lawyers brainwash artists to milk them of funds in lawsuits that they know they can't win. Megan seems to be a perfect candidate for self-destruction. Any artist in the music industry will testify that a 40% profit share is a great deal, especially for an unestablished artist until this day has never delivered an album. To end this, I give credit where credit is due. Megan, along with her mother, who eventually could read God rest in peace, negotiated a good deal. So that's all he had to say on that. Now, here's some things that were very interesting in there. When they said, okay, you in here doing all of these different things, as far as trying to using strong arm tactics, why no one talking about the practices of Rock Nation? Rock Nation is the one that's using bulldozing tactics, using high-priced lawyers to try to smother the independent artists. Why no one talking about that? To me, that got more bite than anything. And to me, I don't think people talking about that enough. I'm just saying. I really have a problem with that. And he brought a very interesting fact. He said, I'm not sure Jay-Z knows about this. They have worked with James Prince before. They have collaborated a lot with the Scarface deal, with Def Jam. He worked with Rockefeller all the time, with Scarface and Benny Siegel. They've done a lot of work. So from the East Coast to LA, Jay Prince got respected. He put Houston really on the map in the music game. Every rapper in Houston, they wasn't even coming to Houston to kick it back then. Now you got rap artists, celebrities coming to Houston to basketball games, everything, because Jay made the sacrifices to get that city popping. And this is the thanks he get. And like he said, I'm not sure if Jay is aware of this. But only time will tell. So we're going to see what it read. Because right now, to me, Rock Nation look like the guilty party. They look like a very guilty party here. And we're going to see if changes are made down the road. Because what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing are two different things. Now, Carl, they talking about he made $100 million playing baseball. What he chose to do playing baseball ain't got nothing to do with the record business. So what he supposed to do? He gave her a great deal. Talked to two independent rappers yesterday. Said, you know what I would do with a 40% deal like that? You know what I could do with that? If I had 40%, I had two of them yesterday reach out to me trying to see if I can get them to call. That I had Carl number. So I could holler at him on business. I'm like, dude, I don't really have no connection with Carl Crawford. So it definitely ain't working for the artist. The artists think they need to work with Carl. So y'all let me know. Did James Prince go over the line? I don't think he did. And yes, Patreon followers, more is to come on the Patreon. You already know what time it is. Yeah, great time to be a VIP, ain't it? Oh, I think things are going to be changing in a little bit. This thing here is finna get a little ugly before it gets better. It's always darkest before the dawn. So sometimes you got to go through this. At this point, staying with Carl don't make any sense. And I want to talk to these Megan fans or people that represent Megan who talking about she had to pay out all of her monies to producers out of her 40%. It just looks pretty. You don't know what's going on, Carcino. I believe that I don't think all that was true what Megan said. I think they told her and spun her some lies and told her some half truths and she ran with it. The girl don't look like both oars are in the water. And if you know what that means, then you would understand. She looked like she's very easily misled. Now, has she been reading Jay Prince's book, The Art and Science of Respect, then maybe, maybe she would have some understanding on what it means to come up as an entrepreneur in the city of Houston. When you had to fight in the streets and create something from the ground up. Not to try to take the shortcut and the short route and use people to get what you want and get yourself in position and then just turn on them at the drop of a hat. That don't make any sense. But this is a cutthroat era now. There's no loyalty in the game. People are more snakes now than I've ever seen in my life. And people are like, man, that's just business. That's the way things work. People are okay snitching and coming back into society. All kind of goofy stuff happening. That's okay, man. Look what they were doing to him. He had a right to snitch. He cool. So, this is the kind of behavior we champion now. See what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be a superstar. Everybody wants to be a superstar. Now, what in the world? People love to send you the craziest message. Okay. Now, that's crazy. But anyway, sorry about that. Now, they're going to probably compare things that he said, inserts in his book, Rock Nation is, to try to paint his character when he went back in 1992 dealing with Brian Turner, the crooked Brian Turner at Priority Records. This is the same Brian Turner who had NWA and did all the dirty things he did. But see, no one ever write about those crooks. But yet, all the crooks supposed to be black, right? And because you're a hustler who hustled your way to the game, educated yourself, and learned the business, they don't like when you play the same way. They don't like when you want respect. They feel that's only for them. They feel because they got money and power and lawyers from out of the state and the country that they can get anything they want just by strong arm. I have a problem with that. As you should. Have a huge problem with that. But anyway, we don't leave that alone. I will say that to say this. Sooner or later, people got to realize something. What type of person you want to be known as? Is it about rich or poor? Famous or unfamous? What do you want to be known for? You want to be somebody who made a lot of money, but don't nobody respect? There's plenty of those. Well, what do you want to be known for? You want to be famous? A lot of people like that fame. Some people just want to be rich. That's it. That's me. I want to wake up every day not having to worry about, I got to work hard today to see if I'm going to pay this, I'm going to pay that, I'm going to pay this, and how I'm going to do that. You just want to be comfortable, right? Wake up one day and not have to worry about a bill. All the bills are paid. You can just spend the day doing whatever you want. Right? That's what we want. That's what we should want. Comfortable life for our family. Now, if you want to be known as a scumbag, then so be it. Be the scumbag. If you don't want to be just somebody who keeps shortcomings, let's see how long that's going to last for you. It's not long. Staying in the hustling game 20, 50 years, that's unrealistic. You're going to lose a lot of comrades. You're going to be at a lot of funerals. You're going to be paying for a lot of stuff that you don't want to be paying for. And then you might wind up going in jail. That's the realities of it. All within 10 years. Gone in jail. So, you got to make a decision on what type of party you want to go to. You want to go to funerals? Or do you want to go to weddings? Now, I've seen this come and happen in different formats. I've seen people go through different phases of their life. They go through maturity, immaturity, and just plain not knowing. So I don't blame Megan for not really knowing the business, but she had lawyers and managers around her to make sure she get a good deal. And for someone to tell her as an incoming artist who got that kind of a deal, she got a bad deal, I guarantee you her deal was better than Jay-Z's deal when he was at Rockefeller. I bet you her deal was better than his deal when he signed with Def Jam. And you know what Jay did? He honored his contract when he was at Def Jam. He honored his contract and then was able to re-up, renegotiate, and then get the lump sum. But he gave them how many albums? One, two, three, four, five. He gave them like 5 albums, like back to back to back to back. He just kept punching out the albums so that he can get to the re-up. So if you wonder why Volume 2 came out, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, The Dynasty, Blueprint, all them albums came out right then and there. The Blueprint ended the original deal. And since the Blueprint, and they gave Jay that money, I can't say he had a great album since he got the deal. But that's for another day. I'm out. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit my Cash App up, Carcino. And definitely check out the Patreon, Carcino for Life, because it's going down.